Hey loggers, I want to thank you for your support so far. Together we can build a wonderful community and expand this creepy universe even further. Help me reach 500 subscribers. Something very big is coming. Now without further ado, when we reach 500, the next door opens. What waits beyond is something I can't face alone. Join the logs. Stay aware. Stay afraid. Let's dive into today's story. When I was younger, my grandmother used to tell me not to answer if I heard my own voice calling from outside. I laughed at it. She called it an old tale from her village. Something about echoes that weren't really echoes. I don't laugh anymore. It started small. One night I was cooking dinner and heard my roommate Jay calling from his room. "Hey, can you come here for a sec?" I walked over, knocked, and opened the door. Empty. He wasn't home yet. I brushed it off. Maybe I'd misheard. But the voice came again the next night. This time, it was my voice from the kitchen. Except I was already standing in the kitchen. The words were exactly the same tone I use when I call my dog. The same inflection, the same little laugh at the end, but my mouth hadn't opened. Over the next week, it got bolder. Sometimes I'd hear Jay's voice, sometimes mine, always from another room, always saying something I might actually say. Where's my phone? Dinner smells good. Come here for a second. But when I checked, no one was there. One night, I recorded it. I set my phone on the counter and left it running while I pretended to sleep. At 2:37 a.m., the audio picked up the creak of the apartment door, then footsteps, then me, but not quite. The voice was a shade too slow. Each syllable stretched like it had to think about what came next. I am hungry. Then silence. Then faintly, where are you? The next morning, I noticed something. My shoes by the door were wet. Mud caked the soles, except I hadn't left the apartment. And when I checked the hallway camera feed, I saw it. At 2:40 a.m., the apartment door opened, and someone stepped inside. The video is grainy, but the shape, the build, was mine. Not similar. Identical. I haven't told Jay yet. Because last night I heard his voice at my bedroom door. And this morning when I asked him if he'd knocked, he said, "I thought it was you knocking on mine." I stopped sleeping normally after that. Every creak, every gust of wind in the hallway, I was sure it was me coming back again. Jay started noticing too. He'd leave his keys on the counter, only to find them neatly placed on his desk. His laundry folded before he touched it. Little things, too perfect, like someone was practicing being him. 2 nights ago, he shook me awake. There's someone in the living room. he whispered. His face was pale. We both listened. And then it came. "Hey, can you come here for a sec?" My voice. Except I was right there. We armed ourselves with kitchen knives and pushed open the living room door. The lights were off, but moonlight spilled through the window. And in the middle of the room, standing stiff and straight, was me. Same height, same clothes, same scar on my hand, but wrong. Its smile didn't move with its eyes. Its chest rose and fell like it was remembering to breathe. "Who are you?" I demanded. It tilted its head. Then Jay spoke up, his voice shaking. "That's not you." The thing blinked. Then, in my voice, too slow, too heavy, "That's not you." Jay lunged. The thing moved faster than it should have, jerky, twitching like a puppet on tangled strings. The knife only grazed its arm, but instead of blood, something dark and thick oozed out like tar. The smell was sweet, rotten. It screamed, not words, not even a voice, just static, high-pitched, tearing through my skull. And then it scrambled backward, limbs bending the wrong way, and slipped out through the open window. We thought that was the end. But this morning, Jay didn't show up for breakfast. His door was shut, locked. When I knocked, his voice came from inside. "I'm tired, man. Leave me alone." So I did. But a few minutes later, I heard the front door open. Jay walked in with his gym bag, fresh sweat on his shirt. He froze when he saw me. And then he asked, "Why are you in my room?" I never opened his door. I swear I didn't. But something is in there. Something that sounds like him. And sometimes, when I'm alone in my room, I hear my voice whisper through the wall, "Switch." Jay and I don't talk much anymore. Not because of a fight. Because I don't know if he's still him. Since that night, I've been keeping track, counting little things. How many times he blinks, the words he uses, even the rhythm of his breathing when he sleeps. And here's the thing. Sometimes it's perfect. Too perfect. Like he's rehearsed it. And sometimes it slips. The other day he poured coffee into a bowl instead of a mug. And when I said his name, he just froze. Like the word didn't register. 2 nights ago, I tried locking myself in my room, wedged a chair under the handle, stayed up with the lights on. At 3:12 a.m., the scratching started. Not at the door, inside my closet. I held my breath, waited, and then I heard it. My own voice, whispering, "Let me out." This morning the chair was still in place. door still locked, but my bed was wet with mud, and there were footprints leading to the closet, stopping just inside the door frame. I've been thinking about that recording, the one where it said, "I am hungry." Maybe that was the truth. Maybe it's not just pretending. Maybe it's learning. An hour ago, Jay came home from work. He dropped his keys on the counter, kicked off his shoes. Then I heard the door again. Another Jay walked in. Same clothes, same bag, same smell of sweat and city air clinging to his jacket. They both froze when they saw me, and at the same time, in perfect unison, they said, "Hey, can you come here for a sec?" Now I'm locked in my room, typing this as fast as I can. One of them is pacing outside the door. The other is whispering through the vent. And in between I can hear my voice, closer, behind me. Switch,